Hello students, welcome back to the science class. Children, do you remember what have you studied in the previous class? In the previous class, we studied about the basic practices of agriculture. That includes preparation of soil, sowing of seeds, adding manure and fertilizers, irrigation, weeding, harvesting and storage. Children, our country's population has been increasing drastically day by day. Accordingly, the necessity of food is also increased. To satisfy the necessity of food for a larger population, we have to take certain steps by which the food production should be increased and spoilage of food should be minimized. So, our today's topic is about the methods of crop production to increase the yield and decrease the spoilage of food. The first method is crop rotation. What is meant by rotation of crops? Planting a series of different crops in the same field following a defined order is called rotation of crops. Why is rotation of crops necessary? Each crop uses more of some nutrients and less of other nutrients in the field. By growing alternative crops, the land is not drained of any one of nutrients. So crop rotation is necessary to maintain the soil productivity. It also helps to minimize the problem of weed. For example, wheat or rice and a legume can be grown in the same field to balance the nutrients level in the soil. The crop rotation has two important methods. The first one is monocropping and the next one is mixed cropping. Monocropping. Repeated planting of the same crop in the same field year after year is called monocropping. Example, cultivation of paddy in the same field for many seasons. Mixed cropping. The cultivation of two or more than two crops simultaneously on the same land without any pattern is called mixed cropping. Example, cultivation of paddy and a legume alternatively in the same field for many generations. The next method is seed bank. Have you heard about the word seed bank? Seed bank is nothing but it's a place where seeds are stored in order to preserve genetic diversity. What is genetic diversity? Genetic diversity is heritable variation within and between populations of organisms, so that variations can be passed on or conducted to the next generation. Do you know the fact that Acharya Jagadish Chandra Bose Indian Botanical Garden in Kolkata is the first seed bank in India? Its total collection is over 12,000 specimens. How are the seeds stored in seed banks? In seed banks, the seeds are stored in the airtight earthen pots in simplest and healthiest method. The Navadanya Seed Bank in New Delhi conserves about 50,000 crop varieties. The next method is seed balls. Seed balls are a mixture of soil, compost and plant seeds. The seed balls are thrown in dry areas. When monsoon starts, these seed balls will germinate into seedlings. The advantage is it helps to increase tree cover and to improve awareness about the conservation of plants. The next one is the preparation of seed balls. Let us see how is the seed balls are made. See, the soil, that is the clay, and compost is mixed with some seeds of plants and it is made into a ball. It is dried in sunlight for 2 to 3 days. Then it is stored and then thrown in dry areas to cultivate tree cover. See, in this video, seed balls are made using clay, compost and some seeds of plants. They are mixed with water and made into a ball. Within the ball, the seeds are dipped. The ball is filled with clay and compost mixer. Now the seed ball is ready. It is dried and thrown in some dry places. The next method is heirloom seeds. The heirloom seeds are otherwise called as organic seeds. An heirloom seed is a seed of plant that has been carefully cultivated and passed down through many generations. They are usually planted in small, isolated communities. These seeds are produced from open pollinated plants that are self-pollinated plants and they transfer their unique characteristics to the descendants, that means the next generations. These seeds are harvested, dried and stored to replant in the following season. The main use of this is to prevent any type of change due to outside influence. The next method to improve the production of crops is bioindicators. What are bioindicators? A bioindicator or biological indicator is a species or group of species which reveals the qualitative status of the environment. Example, lichen. That is a combination of an alga and fungus. It helps the bioindicator of soil health gives us information about soil structure, development, nutrient storage and biological activities. Children, I hope you have well understood the methods of crop production which help to increase the yield and decrease the spoilage. So you learn all these methods very well and do the worksheet attached with this video. Let us meet in the next video.